I think with time you learn to really trust your instinct. And I know for me now, it's like, it's not something I have to really think about too much anymore. It's just, I just know. I'm like, oh, that's done. Cause like, why do I like, there's some songs where you can, I mean, that's the hard part with songs. You could go and go and go and try stuff and add stuff and take away all this stuff. But I think the magic happens where you land. That happens when you're like, when you have that feeling of like, oh my God, you just have that feeling. You're like, this sounds like almost done. And you have to like trust that. You have to learn to trust that. Because if it sounds good, it is good. To me, that's my rule. I don't care what it is. I'm like, if it sounds good, it is good. And right now I'm like, great, this sounds almost done. Like I just did a single for an artist the other day, and it only took me 2 hours. And I was like, am I missing something? Like, why did this only take me 2 hours? And it's because I happened to choose the right parts. I only did like 5 different things on it, but it was big and huge and massive. But it was the 5 of the right parts, the right beat, the right piano, the right vocal, all the stuff. And it just came together. And I'm like, I think it's done. And I asked the artist, like, do you feel like it's done? And she was like, yeah. So yeah, I don't know if that answers your question, but
no, that's a great answer. That's awesome, man. Well, really good. Y'all, like this is, I mean, you're talking and I feel like, you know, some of this is really hitting home for some of the students that either want to be producers or they're wondering like how, you know, because a lot of people just sit there like working on a song forever and they never release it. Could you speak a little bit more into that? Like some people, should people release a song that is not 100% there, or should they just work on it until it's like perfect? Is there such thing as a perfect song?
no. I mean, yes and no. I think it's just, if you're gonna like release something, you call it done. You kind of have to imagine it's an awareness thing. I think you have to tap into that awareness part of you that goes like, okay, put myself over here, listen to it from a different perspective, from an outside perspective, almost like a consumer. Because I hate when people say, I'm just doing this for me. Like, that's so stupid, because you're not, then do it in your closet and never put it out. You know what I mean? Like
Totally.
that's not real. And I think there's definitely that side of you that's doing it for you 100%, right. But you're also doing it so people can hear it. And so we are responsible for drawing people into what we're doing.
Right.
So if you got to be able to like learn how to take yourself out of your seat for a second, listen to it from over here and be like, from a consumer, do I like this? Do I think it's good enough? Does this hit me? Is this catchy? Or do I think that because all my emotions are attached to it?
Right.
You know, and so does that mean it's good, or does that mean, so it's those things you got to really be quick on. And I try to, when I'm creating, I try to step in and out of that constantly. So that I'm not just have a biased opinion of like, oh, I love this, but are other people going to love it?
No, that's really good.
I will say is important. I think it's very important that other people love it too. And especially if you're passionate about it. So.
Right. I mean, that's awesome. That's so good.